And we're back, everybody, on a Friday edition of the Phillies Fastball. I am Mike Gill, and of course, my guys, Jeff and Oscar, are with us. And you can always check out the show on all the social media platforms. Jeff, Oscar, the Phillies are out in Colorado, place where everybody's offense turns to life. This offense has been lifeless in their first 6 games of the season, really at the top of the order, where Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, and Alec Boehm have been historically bad for the Phillies. Is this just what the doctor ordered? Michael Lorenzen, Colorado, on this happy hour Friday, gentlemen.
Go ahead, Jeff. You start, man. It's Friday.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm actually looking up some numbers here with this team against Michael Lorenzen, and one of the notes I have here is where's he at here?
Marchand and Kemp hit them well.
No, actually, Kyle Schwarber. Here it is. Kyle Schwarber is hitting .375 with 2 home runs career against Michael Lorenzen. So maybe this is a big game for him to kind of set the tone for this lineup. I'm not saying Kyle Schwarber's going to bat leadoff today, but could be a good indicator that the Phillies could do some damage, especially in a day game.
By the way, those numbers against Lorenzen, Schwarber 9 for 24 with 2 homers. Other than that, not a whole heck of a lot. Harper 2 for 7 with a home run. Realmuto 3 for 6. Stott 1 for 4. And a whole bunch of 1 for 2s, 0 for 2s, 0 for 2s. You know, not a whole heck. So they have not seen their former teammate, who, of course, famously threw the no-hitter here in 2023. But Michael Lorenzen's tough. This isn't, going out to Colorado facing some guy who's a journeyman with a 7 ERA or some young kid. Michael Lorenzen's the guy that can give you some problems. He pitched well in the WBC, Oscar.
I mean, you guys are amazing. I mean, you want it? Here you go. There's it. Even more important than this, take a look at his numbers in he's at 1-2 and 924 in Coors Field. So this is the first time he's going to throw there. So he doesn't have very, very encouraging numbers, and he's 1-4 with a 6.98 ERA against the Phillies. So look, to me, this is, that's why we titled this "Time to Ring the Bell." I mean, this is it, guys. I mean, this is the opportunity that Schwarber, Harper, Trey Turner needs to wake up and get this get going. Look, Turner, he has a couple at bats against Lorenzen, but look, this is the opportunity. Look, this is the opportunity. We did it last year. We swept them in 4 games up in Colorado, in Denver, and we need to do it again. I mean, this is the opportunity to truly get into a heater here as we go to the Giants, and San Francisco has not been a friendly confine for us when we have played there.
No, it is not. And guys, Cole Weintraub over at NBC Philadelphia posted a number that I think we should discuss because, Jeff, you just said something that I think will perk our listeners' ears. According to Cole Weintraub, through the first 6 games, the top 4 spots in the Phillies order is the worst in team history. They are hitting 149 with a 557 OPS. It is the worst in team history. Do they need a shakeup at the top of the lineup, or is 6 games simply too small a sample size? I did hear you just say something about Schwarber in the leadoff hall, and you're already starting to hear people wonder, should they shake up the top? What do you guys think? Jeff, go ahead.
I don't think they'll shake it up. I do think 6 games is too small of a sample size, but I got a quicker finger on the pulse than Rob Thompson does. I probably would just change it up a little bit, maybe flip-flop Harper and Schwarber, or Schwarber and Turner. You just to do something. Like, you don't have to get rid of the top 4, right? You could just mix them up a bit. I don't think Rob Thompson's going to do that on this road trip, especially against a team like Colorado, especially against a Michael Lorenzen. I believe he's very patient, and that has worked out well for this team in the past. But you guys are seeing these numbers here. This is a 140 batting average. This is not good.
Look at the top 5 hitters. Even Stott at 200. It's 3 hits. You have to shake it up. Look, there's one thing. I like Topper, but he's stubborn. With the lineup, he's not going to change the top 3 hitters. Those top 3 hitters, you're going to see them every time unless they're taking a day off. What I would do is I would bring March to hit. I would bring Garcia and March up. That's what I would do, and I would bring Baum and Stott down, and just basically flip them. That's what I would personally do. Garcia only has a couple of bats against him, but I would definitely do. March is 1 for 2 with a triple against Lorenzen. I would bring March to hit fourth, and then Garcia to hit fourth, and then March hit fifth. That's what I would do.
Well, this is something we talked about on yesterday's Phillies Fastball, guys, is if you move Garcia out of the 6 hole, is he now getting pitched differently? And will that, affect him a little bit? Or do you keep him where he is, let him kind of keep going and hope that, somebody else gets going? Or is it, hey, we got to do something. Let's move him up and Marsh up?
I would flip Stott and Marsh. If I had to make a change or my projected change, what Rob Thompson would do, that's what I would just do. I would just flip Marsh and Stott. You just gotta hope the top 4 hit. But I kind of like Garcia 6 right now. I believe he says he has some power in the middle of that lineup, and he's setting the tone for the bottom of the lineup.
Yeah,
well, guys, we know
Baum is 0 for 3. Baum is off for 3 with 2 strikeouts against Lorenzen.
By the way, guys, we know this.
This is what bothers me about the whole.
The conversation essentially all season long will be and has been since 2022, 2023, 2024 is this lineup is a right-handed middle of the order short. Again, I don't know that moving Garcia there fixes that problem, even if you make that move.
You know what? This is what bothers me about the whole thing. And Oscar's putting out some good stats here. I like this. But, we always say Rob Thompson is basically doing this lineup by the book. Or, well, the book is telling you what was that last stat, Oscar? 0 for 3?
I mean, with Alec Baum, he's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a base and balls.
Yeah, so the book is telling you to move him down, but they're not going to do that. So is it really by the book?
Well, then you're really changing your lineup daily based on who's pitching. So I do agree that they shouldn't be saying, well, Boom, you struggle against this particular guy, so you're going from 4 to 7. And Real Muto is 3 for 6 against Lorenzen, so you're going from 8 to 4. I don't think they should be doing that. Listen, I don't think they should really shake this lineup much at all. However, as we have discussed on this show, one thing I would take a look at is using Bohm in a different spot in the order, out of the 4 hole, so he doesn't have to be a protector and he is being protected. Now, someone might say, what has Bohm done that he deserves protection? Listen, he has been a really good hitter, but he's got nobody hitting behind him. If Bohm has a Schwarber or a Harper behind him, that might make him an even better hitter. And then you got to hope that Schwarber and Harper make their $300 million.
Or what about a Marsh behind him even? Even keeping him at 4, because Marsh is, look, he's an 850 OPS guy against righties. That's dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, guys, this is the bottom line for me. The 4th hitter last year hit 720 OPS. I mean, that is unacceptable. Yep. That is unacceptable. Correct. To me, the plan, that Dombrowski had on the team was to bring Bichette and be the 4th hitter of this team. I mean, that was the plan initially, or maybe you flip-flop Turner and Bichette, whatever. That was the plan. Those would have been the top 4 hitters, and they would not be touched. The fact that Bichette did not come, and you brought Realmuto, to me, the fourth slot in this lineup needs to be a combination of 2 things: either matchup or whomever is hot. To me, the hottest hitter right now is Garcia, so you have to bring him up. I agree with you, Jeff, that March should probably be brought up. To me, I would just bring them up. I would bring Garcia as the 4th hitter. I would bring March as the 5th hitter to break the lefties. And then what you would do is just bring Bowman and Stott down. And if they get hot, then you could consider bringing them up. That's personally what I would do.
By the way, guys, I will say in Garcia's career, he has had most of his at-bats, 443 games, over 1,800 plate appearances, hitting in the number 4 spot in the order. So that is the spot in Texas that he hit mostly during his career. The second most would be in the 3rd spot, where he had 600 at-bats. So he has been either 3 or 4 for most of his career.
Yeah. And then there are people that are talking about maybe even moving Crawford. Look, I wouldn't touch Crawford at all for the first month. You let this kid get his feet wet. He's going to struggle against some of the tough pitchers in baseball. There's no doubt. I mean, just don't put the pressure on the kid. Let the kid. Garcia is a veteran. Now, he's very streaky. I want you to, I mean, right now we're talking Garcia, he's hot. That's what I'm saying. You take advantage of two components, matchup and whomever is hot. Garcia is hot right now. I'll bring him up as well as March. We know what March can do against right-handed pitching. That's what I would do at this point until Baum and Stott can get their feet wet and, I mean, start get going for the season. Hey, Baum and Stott, the season started.
Oscar, to add to your point too, I think when they signed Adolis Garcia, before the whole Bo Bichette plan came into place, it just seemed like, okay, you could put this guy in as your 4-hitter because he mashes the ball and he would provide protection because he is dangerous. When he gets a hold of the ball, I mean, we talked about the hard hit rate yesterday. That's over 60%. I know it's only 6 games, but like if you wanted to move, if they put Adolis Garcia for today, I wouldn't mind it.
I started looking at OPSs and I started looking at other things. Look, it's too early, guys. It's too early. A lot of his hard hits, everybody's like pointing at Garcia, hard hit, unbelievable. Harper, hard hit. I mean, Starks was yesterday talking in 97.5, and he was talking about the issue that Harper hard hit rate is considered, guys, 6 games. I mean, it's 6 games. I mean, absolutely no way. I mean, let's take some time and let the thing settle. I mean, let's take a couple weeks at least. I mean, and start looking at numbers. I mean, you cannot throw stats like that, like Harper. Wow, Harper lost it. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, I know he's 33 or 32, 33, getting up there. Look, Harper is a tremendous hitter. Look what he did in the World Baseball Classic. I mean, look, if the U.S. would have won that game, we would be talking Harper as the American hero. Okay, if the U.S. would have won that game against Venezuela in the final of the World Baseball Classic, and
remember Oscar 2 years ago, Bryce Harper started out slow, and then he had 3 home run game.
Yeah, I'll bring some stats on Monday about Harper, Turner, and Schwarber and how they do month by month, so we can have kind of an understanding. I mean, in terms of their career, how have they done and how have they done it lately? So, look, let's not throw numbers out there.
Well, obviously, the Phillies, top 5 in the order, they are all 200 and below. The bottom of the lineup, Garcia, Marsh, Realmuto, Crawford, they have gotten off to a good start. Realmuto, in the last game, he kind of got going with the home run and the hit in that game. So bottom of the order, getting the job done. Top of the order, Colorado might be just what the doctor ordered. Colorado, usually not what the doctor ordered, boys, for your pitching staff or your bullpen. Let's look at Aaron Nola, today's starter, who obviously, had a good game the other day, not a great game, gave up the 2 home runs in the game, gave up one to Berger in the Texas. I think Corey Seager hit the other one. But, everybody's wondering, is Aaron Nola back? Is he going to become the Nola that we, became familiar with? Or is this Aaron Nola going to be the one that we had last year with an over 6 ERA? That whip last year I thought was a big problem for Nola. He didn't have the same command last year. How much was that injury related? What Aaron Nola do we expect at Coors Field? Not a spot where you want to try to get better.
Yeah, I mean, his numbers are. He has a 4 ERA at Coors Field. He's 2-2 at Coors Field. He's really good against the Rockies. He's 4-2 with that 3.8. I mean, I'll look at it in a minute. I'll put it up in a minute, like a 3.8 ERA. But I mean, Coors Field. I mean, he has a 4 ERA. I do believe that Nola is going to maybe go 5-6 innings. I mean, maybe 6 innings today. Maybe allowing 3 runs, similar to what he did last time. That's what we're going to see for Nola. I believe like a 4 ERA throughout the year.
Yeah, I believe the command's going to be there today. I think Aaron will look to get off to a better start. I think that's what, from his last start, I think that's what he regrets, not giving up a long ball early. And look, he's going to give up long balls. That's just who he is. As long as they're not 3-run shots or grand slams, it's fine. But yeah, I thought the command was good last game. I thought his fastball velocity was high. It's been higher than it's been the last couple of years. And yeah, I think Aaron's going to be fine. This isn't really a powerhouse Rockies offense. I mean, outside of Brett Doyle, can we really name a lot of like mashers on this team right now?
I mean,
as
Ezequiel Tovar is a really good hitter, but he has not fared well. He has not fared well in 9 at bats against Nola.
Yeah, he struggles against that curveball, I think, against Nola, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So
keep in mind, this is a Colorado team that won 43 games last year. They are over under 54 this season. So you're right. This is not a lineup, but they can get a little quirky things that happened out at this ballpark, as we have seen plenty of times over the years.
He's allowed 8 home runs against the Rockies, 5 of them at Coors Field. I mean, in terms of Nola. So I mean, there is a watch out with the home run ball here. He's going to have to manage his own very, very carefully. I like McCarthy, Jake McCarthy, the guy from the
I do too,
from the Diamondbacks. I mean, I know a number of times we were trying to potentially get him here in Philly. He's hit him well, man. 462 in 13 at bats, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, and this was probably in Arizona. I mean, moving him to Coors Field, he could be a very dangerous hitter today against.
You know what? Colorado's a good spot for Jake McCarthy. I feel like that's an opportunity for him to play every day. Opportunity for him. And look, would you guys be surprised if that name comes up in July?
Absolutely not.
I like
Doyle,
him. I've
Doyle
always
was a
liked
name
that
that
kid.
came up this offseason as well. Philadelphia, obviously, I think now they think they have their center fielder in Crawford, but I think Doyle was a name that you heard about. McCarthy would be a name that you would probably hear out. Their catcher, Goodman, he's a guy, too, that can mash and hit the ball over the fence. So Nola today against Lorenzen in that game, of course, a 4-10 start for the Phillies and the Rockies. But if Nola comes out of that game, what about the bullpen? It was supposed to be an upgraded bullpen. We're talking about the top of the lineup struggling through 6 games. Are we concerned about the bullpen struggles through 6 games? Oscar, what do we got?
I mean, look, you're making me move today, right?
It's Friday, Oscar. Get ready.
Friday. I mean, it's Friday. Come on. So look, our bullpen, the top 3 guys, I mean, have done a decent job. I mean, Duran did not have that start or that relief appearance that was not really good. That he lost the game. I think that was the game in extra innings that we lost. That Durant came in.
Yeah. He had to go runner on second.
Yeah. So he had a runner on second, so he lost that game. But the 2 save opportunities he's had, he looked really, really well. I mean, he looked really, really good. 2.45 ERA, that works for me. 6 strikeouts in 3.2 innings. I mean, look, you cannot ask for more.
The key stat with Duran, Oscar.
What was that?
The key stat with Duran, no walks. I like that.
Yeah, no walks. He's been like that. He had like 1 walk or 2 walks with the Phillies last year. It was crazy. Yeah. The number there. Maisa has looked good. Tanner Banks did not look good in spring training. He's looked slightly better now. Look, Pop, Keller, Bolin, Alvarado, and Buck has they're going to have to, like, here's a question for you, Jeff. Who do you think is going to come out once Kirkland comes up?
So I've been thinking about this for a while. I think Backus is going to be one of the odd men out.
He has options.
He does. And they really like Tim Mesa. Like, Tim Mesa earned the spot on this team. I think you saw when he was pitching in those deficits, like, look, he gave them 2 innings and really didn't flinch, right? Tim Mesa was a high leverage reliever in Toronto a couple years ago. You know the talent's there. He's been around. So I think Mesa stays. I think Backus would go down. And the other one, I have a feeling it's going to be Zach Pop, just because you don't need all those righties in there.
Once Wheeler comes up.
Yeah, once Wheeler comes back. Yeah, I think Pop gets more time, and then I think it'll eventually be Pop when Wheeler comes back.
Yeah, Alvarado. I was connecting with Alvarado yesterday. He was visiting some rivers and looking at some of the scenery there in Colorado. I told him, hey, come on, let's go. It's time to get going here, big boy.
So that's an interesting point there. It's a little insight there from Oscar. You're communicating with Alvarado, who is a big part of this team. Last year, obviously, he gets the suspension. They didn't have him. What kind of role is he in really right now? You got Duran, and I think they got Keller. I would imagine Alvarado is kind of that 8th inning setup guy if there's left-handers up, and he would be more of the 7th inning guy if there's right-handers due up in the 8th.
Yeah, I mean, look, Alvarado it's going to take him a little bit of time. I mean, he had that issue where he lost 80 games. I mean, unfortunately, because he was trying to get on a diet. He looks a little bigger now than I want to be honest with you.
He's definitely bigger.
he needs to do some exercising there. But look, Alvarado is going to play an important role. It's going to play a critical role in this team. You need that lefty. He's going to be the number one lefty on this team. Banks did a tremendous job last year. I mean, I was shocked about how good Banks was last year for the Phillies. Between Alvarado and Banks, they're going to play the lefty part, and Maisa was inconsistent. That's probably the word that I would use when he came up last year. I mean, after
you got to remember too that they signed Mesa late, and they signed him basically for depth, and it was more okay. Get us through September, and remember he made the playoff roster because he pitched well enough to do that, and he's had a great spring. He's had a really good start to the season. Like I said, they really seem to like him, believe in him. What I think's key with this bullpen too is, Oscar, when Kerkering comes back, Bolin goes down the pecking order. I think he'll improve. And the way Kerkering's sweeper was moving last night, that's a huge addition coming for the Phillies next week.
And the other thing with Alvarado is in a contract year. So it's very, very important for him to do a great job this year. The outing he had, he was completely off. He looked better the last time out, so he was able to get that 0. I mean, striking out 1. So I'm expecting big things from Alvarado this year.
I want to point this. Yeah, I want to point this out with Alvarado. How many pitchers in the Phillies bullpen, like forever in the history of this franchise, have been around like 6 years?
Not many.
They're not a lot.
Not
There's
many.
such turnover in bullpens that it is a little, odd that a guy is in that bullpen. And by the way, Alvarado, much like a lot of guys on this team, when they got Christopher Sanchez, nobody thought that Christopher Sanchez was going to be a Cy Young candidate. And when they got Alvarado, they were just hoping to get a live arm. He has turned into a quality top-level reliever for them. But he is, to me, maybe one of the most important keys to this bullpen, because you have Duran. Keller, not sure. He's had one good year, Keller, that earned him that big contract. So Alvarado is a very important piece of this bullpen. And I agree with you, Jeff, moving Bolin and everybody down. Kerkering, when he slides in here, I've always been a big Kerkering fan. I loved his stuff to possibly be a closer on this team when they didn't have a real closer. Now that they have Duran, maybe that takes the pressure off Kerkering, that he can know what his real role will be.
Yeah. And look, his role was supposed to be a 7th-inning guy last year, and to his credit, he pitched well enough to be that closer when Alvarado was down, and it definitely affected his mindset when you're bringing in David Robinson, and Duran didn't bother him as much as the Robinson stuff. It's like, okay, what do I got to do? Like, I've done everything they've asked of me the last 2-3 months, and now, like, I'm basically not pitching.
Well, this bullpen, guys, I think they're off to a slow start, but it sets up better this year because they should have more defined roles. Where last couple of years, they didn't have a real closer. I don't know if I'm closing tonight. I don't know if I'm the setup man tonight. Nobody really knew, because obviously Jordan Romano struggled, so they had Strom closing games, Alvarado closing games, then Alvarado gets suspended, then Kerkering's got to try to close games. Now you have Duran and Keller and Alvarado. They're your top 3. Now who's in front of them?
I believe in Keller. I'm a big believer in that guy. Has a tremendous arm. When I see Keller, I see Hoffman. I see Jeff Hoffman, that guy that can pitch you 1 inning, 1.1 inning, 1.2 innings. You can bring him in key situations, and the guy's going to deliver. To me, he's probably, after Duran, the most important arm in this bullpen. And then you have the Kerkerings, the Alvarados, and the Banks kind of being those 3 guys that you're going to move to hit in the 6th, the 7th inning as they go in. But to me, the setup guy needs to be Keller. That's why he was brought up on a 2-year contract. I mean, those are the top 2 pitchers in my view in this bullpen right now, Duran and Keller. And if those 2 guys do their part, then the other guys are going to be flipping around depending on matchups, if they're lefties coming, righties coming, so you're going to see that.
Yeah, I know both your points, by the way. Look, and Keller's like Hoffman, right? Former starter, high draft pick, turn reliever. He can throw hard.
Big arm.
Yeah. So that's what I like. And Mike, I'm trying to remember your initial point now. But overall,
they have roles. They have roles.
Yeah, exactly. They're defined roles, right? And I've had guys in the bullpen say this to me, like, "Hey, look, we know our job," and they ain't use that as an excuse. It's just they have an idea. Like Tanner Banks never knew when he was coming in last year. I don't think Orion knew when he was coming in last year.
No, and by the way, Banks pitched very well last year, not knowing when he was going to pitch.
That's probably why Banks is so reliant for like Mesa. I think Mesa knows when he's coming in. I think Bolin knows when he's coming in. Like Kirkring definitely knows when he's coming in. Yeah, I kind of like the structure this year. That's why I think in the long run, I know we're talking about this now because of their start, but overall, I think it's going to be a very good bullpen.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. One thing that I'll mention, Banks was a very, very important pitcher last year for us because he came in dirty innings. He came in the middle in the fifth inning with 2 outs and two men in scoring position, and he would be the guy that was brought up, and he did a tremendous job last year.
I thought they should use Banks more in the postseason.
I think a lot of people, the postseason bullpen handling, I think, can certainly be discussed ad nauseum. But they're getting ready for Colorado. And by the way, a switch for the Rockies today will be Nola and Lorenzen. Luzardo will pitch tomorrow for the Phillies. No Jose Quintana tomorrow night. Yeah. He has a hamstring injury, so that helps the Phillies out. He has been tough on the Phillies. Walker and Sugano still on Sunday, so we'll see probably an opener now for the Rockies.
I'm afraid of the Sugano matchup, man. I got to check to see how many Phillies have faced Sugano. I don't think many, but that guy's very deceptive.
I'm sure our guy over at Phillies Tailgate will be all over that matchup here.
Tyler will be all over it.
We'll be talking about that on Phillies Weekly Sunday night, how they couldn't hit Sugano.
Yeah, Sunday night he's gonna be there. So he's gonna be running all the stats for Taijuan Walker and going into Coors Field. So.
All right, Phillies and Rockies coming up at 4 o'clock, 4:10, the first pitch today. That's our Phillies fastball for today. Lineup, can they get going? Nola, can he settle in here today? And if the bullpen is needed, can the bullpen be a big factor at Coors Field? Phillies, Rockies, 4:10. Oscar, Jeff, they got Phillies Weekly Sunday night. Make sure you check that out. What time is that, guys?
8 p.m. 8 p.m. We'll be there. Team Kelly is going to be there. We're going to have Luca Arnides is going to be there.
Arcani. That's how you say it.
Luke, sorry. Arcani. Luca Arcani from Crossing Broad. He's going to be there, as well as Tyler from Phil's Tailgate. So we're going to have the whole family there going, and we're ready to talk about this first week. Thank you for everything you do, Mike, for us.
All right, happy Easter, everybody out there. Phillies coming up at 4:10. That is our Phillies fastball. Thanks, guys.